I'm really excited to hear that your project's joining the Telos ecosystem. Why don't we just jump right in? And I know we have a little demo here to share. So should we pull up screen right away as we're talking, or do you want me to lead with some questions on my end, or?
Sure. Yeah. Let's ease into it here a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe probably the number one question is, what is Keyfi?
Yeah,
I'll start
exactly.
with that.
That's
Yeah.
just what I was going to ask. Yeah, to give us your elevator pitch. What is it? What are you guys doing? And yeah.
So Keyfi is an app that helps you manage DeFi, basically. At a very high level. Um, Further than that, basically, what you do is you connect your wallet. You can connect actually multiple wallets, and then from there you can check your balances across different chains, different assets, as well as different platforms. So right now we started off integrating on Ethereum, because at the time that was pretty much it, right? I mean, I started doing like dev work and crypto like on a serious basis, like around the end of 2017. And it was just Ethereum smart contracts, right? So I learned Solidity and all that. I guess it was around, I guess it was around 2020 or so when Binance Smart Chain started coming out, and then before you knew it, like how many EVM chains are there now? Like, so that's part of the challenge, right? Is to balance, because people want to go to chains because there's different opportunities on different chains, right? People have there's a different project launching there or what have you, right? So people still want to be able to balance all that. So yeah, we creating an app that is able to basically manage all these different things across different platforms, different wallets, different networks, and then give you the ability to improve your control over it. So the first thing that we look at is data. So obviously there's the main data that you have is the data that's coming from your wallets and all of that and your balances. But then we're also looking at general crypto data. So stuff like, price, volume, action, charts. And then we're collecting a lot of other data as well, like, news data, social media data, sentiment data, running it through some analysis. We have different machine learning related projects. We use the data for power and alert system. There's a strategy manager that's integrated with, the different platforms. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different features. We're, the project is still a beta, so it's in a private beta right now, so it's not public release yet. But early adopters are able to use it by staking Keyfi. So if you stake Keyfi, you can access that. But once we're out of public beta, when we've worked through, some of the things that we're working through, then it'll be a more public release, and it'll be easily accessible for everyone. So for now, private beta, but in the near term, once we lock a few more things down, then everybody will be able to get into it there.
That's
Did
awesome.
you have any specific questions, or do we want to
No, I'll
jump
keep
through it?
going. I mean, on my end, I was just curious. So, in terms of digital aggregators, sort of what makes you different than others, and maybe that's a good opportunity for us to pull up and share screen, or unless you'd
Yeah,
like to
for
comment
sure.
first. Here, let me. We got it right here. Oops, sorry. I'll pull it up, and So digital aggregators. What makes you different from other ones in the space right now, and what are you trying to achieve there?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so here actually, is there a way here we could Vinny, can Vinny still hear me?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we got Vinny on the back end working the working the screen for us.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if you can click through some of the things there, like, so you can switch between like wallet and network balances, staking, like all these different sort of different options there for how to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are you able to click through on those so you can see the changes? Or actually, I don't. Yeah. Um, yeah, and then you can see a breakdown also inside of here. I guess that maybe this account doesn't have too much on it still. So here, is it okay? Can I share my other screen? I think I've got
Yeah,
it
go for it.
working now.
Yeah, share your screen if it's working on your end
Awesome.
now. Let me pull this off.
All right, are you able to see this here?
Yes, here, let's pull it up. Beautiful. Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, so basically what we've got here is we've got different wallets connected, right? So what I can do
Mhm.
is I can go in and manage my wallets. And so I say here, okay, I've got these different wallets that I've got here tracked and I've got them labeled, right? So let's say if I want to go and create a new stack of wallets. So this is be the basically the group of wallets I want to use, right? So let's say I use this one and this one and this one and this one. Okay. And then, oh yeah, I have to name it. So name it test stack. Okay. And let's save it. So then I'm going to have this test stack here, right? So then I can go back to the dashboard and I'm going to select that here. And then it takes a second here, but then yeah, it'll fetch the different balances there. And then yeah, I can see, so again, the breakdown by wallet, or I can see the breakdown by networks. In this case, it's mostly on Polygon, but then also Ethereum and my Smart Chain. Now, if I look over here, then I can get a breakdown of the wallet. So I can view by wallets, assets, or platforms. And then I can also break it down here still. So you can see the specific assets that are hiding inside these different wallets. Like, okay, so these are the tokens inside of that wallet, right? By that view. Or I can just look at it as broken down by asset. And then if I want to see that, now I can see which wallets contain that asset. So it's just different ways that you're able to, view sort of your wallets here. And then you can see by platform. So I'm looking at the different networks, and then it's showing me in here. So for Ethereum, I have stuff on KeFi and staking, but I also have stuff in Compound, DideX, and Aave there. So you can see some of that, and that's the same thing here. If you click on like staking, and I go here, you can be able to see those same thing on BSC and on Polygon, right? And if I click that, then I'll be able to see the breakdown of it. Oh, okay, so that's like some liquidity tokens, and some other coins that are staked. So that's the main part of the dashboard here. Then if I scroll down a little bit, there are widgets. So here I just have BTC sort of line chart, the fear and greed index, some news, alerts, research, and then you're able to add more still. So I could change that chart, for example, if I want to change it to KeFi chart there. And you can see then that'll pop up there instead. So this, the dashboard's all responsive. So right now I'm looking at it on a very small screen on a laptop, but if I have this on a desktop, you're able to get a different kind of view. And also I'm working right now on creating a mobile app for this to pair along with it as well too. So we have an API that's working pretty well, but it's just a web app right now, but once we have the mobile app, that'll go out in the shops, and then you'll be able to check all these balances sort of on the go, right? And be able to do some interactions. The next part is the research. So this is where we can go in and just look at basic data about these different things. So let's say if I want to look up Telos, and then yeah, it'll just take a second to load up some data on there and give you a trading view chart. For that still, and then yeah, some other core data there. So then, yeah, you can use the trading view chart, just same like you would always, right? You can add in some indicators or something, and to help you do that. And then you can also from here create an alert still. So if you want to create a price alert, when Telos goes to $10, right? And then yeah, we can add that up there still. So other things. So hopefully that alarm rings off soon, right? Like
Exactly.
So yeah, so basically going through some of the different actions. So this is, you can do more than just monitor things. You can actually interact with things too. So if I go over here to actions, you can see some of the different things. So I can swap ETH, swap ERC20, add liquidity, remove liquidity. I can do deposit, withdraw, borrow, and repay from Aave. So do some things like that. And this is accessible directly like from the swap screen, right? So here you have a place where you can do a swap, and let's say it would yeah, it'll do same thing like it normally would. But the thing here is that you can switch platforms, right? So right now you could switch between Uniswap, ApeSwap, PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, and Curve. And basically, as we go along, we'll be adding lots more. So mentioned that we're supporting different chains. So here's the different chains that we have for balance fetching right now. So it's basically I think there's a dozen of them or so, including Telos. And then as we develop further, basically what we'll be doing is adding more swap options, right? So we'd be adding more dexes, and then also adding more lend borrow platforms, and finally we'll be adding in the farm integrations as well. So basically be able to swap, deposit, and borrow, and farm all from the same platform across multiple chains. So yeah, so more
That's awesome.
on top of that, we've got like a news reader, so you can come in and yeah, search through news articles. Yeah, and then you can add that to a reading list, so you can save that for later. So let's see, keep that there,
Great.
and then we already showed the alerts, and there's actions. So actions, yeah, this is just the different things. Now, let's say the actions actually are also part of the strategy manager. So strategy manager is something a little more involved, where basically you would create a list of transactions to do to basically achieve some sort of objective. Say I want to do a leverage long on, in this case, Wi-Fi. So I could swap my ETH for Wi-Fi, right? And then I could borrow some funds from Aave, like this. Say I'm going to borrow 10,000 USDT, and then I would swap the USDT for more Wi-Fi, right? And then I would deposit that, and then withdraw. Oop, I wonder if that might be this one. But so anyway, so the point here is that you can stack these different things together, and then achieve something sort of more complex, that's involving multiple steps, right? And you can create groups as well too. So let's say you want a group that's like to set up your leverage here. Let's say, okay, it's a WBTC leverage, right? So you're setting up leverage, and then you could deleverage or exit your position by following these ones. So that way, basically, you have all the steps here. They're already set up. You already know what you have to do. You don't have to go to the Uniswap front end, the Compound front end, and switch back and forth. You don't have to remember all the stuff. You can have it all stored on here. And the benefit of having these strategies set up is that it actually makes it easy to share. So let's say if you want to create a strategy for like some kind of yield farming, for example, right, on a platform, and let's say you want to share with other people how to do that, you can do that in here. And one of the first things that we're doing for sharing is doing watch lists, kind of as like a test for how like a social feature would work, right? So somebody can go create a list of tokens that they like, and then share it, and then other people can follow it, etc. So that social sort of feature will also be coming in for a strategy manager there. Um, I think that's pretty much covers the main things. I mean, there's other stuff. Obviously, we have like our own yield farming um, sort of pools and stuff here. You can see sort of a transaction history from your wallet transactions. What assets, platforms, etc. And then that'll link out to a block explorer. Yeah, and then there's like a borrow dashboard here too that gives you different options for borrowing still. And yeah, obviously you have to deposit before you can do that. Yeah, I think that's
Fantastic.
yeah, it's most of them. I think yeah,
Great.
a few other small things. We've got it in multiple languages here still besides English. Um, and yeah, yeah,
I love it.
that's where we are for now. Still, yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought this like the actual product here to show it. It speaks so much stronger, I think, than just talking about it, to see it like that. And I always love when a project comes in and they're very nonchalant. They're like, "Oh yeah, you can do this thing and this thing," but like the tools and the stuff that you've built there is really huge. And it's stuff that's hard to come by in this space, right? So I can see so many use cases for what you've used there, and so many benefits to different users. And two things really kind of stand out to me there. First, a really great UI, right? And I always say that the projects in the space that are going to stand out from the competition are the ones that have that UI that's really easy to use and looks really nice. And you guys have that there. And another thing that's really cool about your project is just the attention to detail, and really going in and adding these features that I don't think other people would really think about, like that leverage section we're showing, where you can set up these different automations, or even thinking about the different languages. Those small details make such a big difference and bring so much more utility to your project, right? So very cool to see that. I'm super excited that this is coming to Telos.
Yeah, well, and it's funny. Like my background is in software development for like a
Mhm.
long time, right? Um, and I've always really sort of focused a lot on user experience. I mean, because that's been a really important part of running a startup, right? Um, one of the startups that I had worked on before was a like a social media influencer messaging app, right?
Mhm.
And gosh, we spent so much time working on like onboarding and like really small, if seemingly small details, right? But it really does pay off still, because when you're making these up, you want the maximum amount of people to use them. It's very different than the project that we just looked at before, the API DAO, right? Or
Mhm.
that's really for developers, right? That's a project for developers. And you see a ton of these in crypto, which are, and they're needed, right? Because developers need infrastructure, right? Um, but they're not necessarily like focused on like on user stuff, and that's fine. That's not their
Mhm.
objective still. But for us, it's all about the user experience still, right? So I'm not happy with it yet. I don't think it's good enough, but you know what? I think that
That's the
we
way it
have
always
sort
goes.
of an objective, and we have a kind of a vision of what we want it to be. That as long as we keep pushing towards that, we're going to get to the point where it'll be a no brainer to use it if you're going to be operating in DeFi. Basically, we want this
Totally.
to be sort of the best, right? So.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too, talking about audience side of things. It really seems like there's a use case for any DeFi user in the space, right? Whether they're just, your basic person who's transacting and want to keep an eye on their wallet, or if they're a trader or something more than that. Like, do you have a specific sort of, audience in particular you're targeting, or you feel like this project will resonate with the most? Or is it really just, a well-rounded tool for everyone?
Well, there's actually two different user types, I guess, that we'd build this for. One of them is like just a regular user, um, who's doesn't necessarily have to have any particular technical knowledge or anything, right? And like I was saying about how you could share a strategy, that would be a person who would follow a strategy rather than design one, which would be the second type of user, someone who's has a lot of pre-existing knowledge or something, right, and wants to do things that are a bit more advanced, right? And then those people could create strategies to share with others still, right? So you have kind of like almost like a creator kind of
Yeah,
creator consumer dichotomy there.
totally.
Um,
Yeah. What
yeah.
inspired you to build this project and to create this tool? Were there gaps you were seeing or things like that? Or, like, do you have trading background yourself, or where did that vision come from?
Yeah, I mean, like I'd been using MakerDAO
Mhm.
since like 2018 or something still, right? So for a long time. And I've been watching, some other apps come in and out, and sometimes they'd have some features that I really liked, but there's nothing that brought everything together. Because another thing that I would do is that I would check coin market cap 10 times a day. I would check another news website, like a news feed website, like 10 or 20 times a day. And then I would check like my balance, either in the wallet or in like another app or something. And I was like, I don't want, and then if I even try to do anything, then I gotta switch to another site, so you end up having like 6 7 tabs open, regardless, right? And I'm like, you know what, there's a better way to do this. So I have some friends that do more traditional trading and stuff, and I can't remember what it was called. It was this app. It was like TCM 2000, or is some silly name like that. And it was like a trading platform that had everything, right? It had like a Bloomberg terminal in there, and it had like all the charts, all the indicators, and then it would connect to your interactive brokers account or whatever. And it had like a scripting language for doing automation and stuff. So I'm like, hey, like I want to do all this, but I want to do it for DeFi, because I'm not involved in traditional finance, right? Like um I can't really get in there still. That's not my thing. You know? um, so yeah, like I want those tools, and I like the idea of creating automation, and ultimately automation requires two things. It requires data, because the data is going to trigger whatever event that the automation is programmed to do, and the other thing is integration. So it has to be able to actually connect with the thing that it's trying to do, right? So what I ultimately want to see this built out into is something that takes all of the data that we're collecting and analyzing and storing and using, that connects to an alert system. The alert system connects to the integrations, and basically you're automating all of your actions on DeFi, based on strategies that you're designing yourself still, that are using a lot of different types of data, not just the traditional stuff like price volume, but also like sentiment, social data, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's so cool. And it's really great to have that tooling, to be able to integrate with decentralized exchanges and stuff like that. That's one of those things that's super missing right now, I think, for traders, right? Yeah, you can do the automations and set your, buy orders and stuff like that, but it's got to happen in a centralized exchange, and there's not really any solutions to, interface with the DeFi tools that are out there. So yeah, totally. I see where that vision came from, and it's really cool that you stuck to it. I think it's been a long process, I'm sure, to get here. And on that note, I guess, you're telling me, I mean, I love it. And as any project owner, you're like, it's not quite right yet. We still got stuff to do. What's next for you with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So next one feature that we've been working on for a while now is DEX charts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we lost him there. Let's see, he's back in. Lost you for a second there, Ben. You still around? Well, while we're waiting for him to join back in, it's funny. I don't know, technical issue there, but guys who are watching, please check out this tool. I'm going to drop a link in the chat really quickly for you guys, and you can go find out everything about KeyFi and connect with their community. You can follow them on Twitter here, and drop it here. Follow them on Twitter, visit their website, visit their Telegram. Go there for sure. And it looks like he's trying to come in, and for some reason there are some technical issues there. I'm going to see if our backend tech Michaela can help out with that. In the meantime, maybe we should bring in, we got a backup here, Vinny. Maybe I'll bring you in real quick, put you on the spot for a second. Hey, Vinny, how's it going? I don't know what's happening there on the technical side, but we are getting really close to the wrap of things anyways. So maybe you can help take it home really quickly. What's next for you guys? What are some of the things that are to come in the near future?
Yeah, so we have sort of two different strategies to scale. Right now, we've been in product development since December 2020, and yeah, we're just rolling out all these great features, and we're in private beta. But now we want to basically get more user adoption, so we're sort of scaling to other chains, Telos included. And right now we're on 8 different chains. We're looking to double that relatively soon over the next few weeks, and hopefully 5x that in the next few months. And so we're reaching out to different ecosystem funds, different networks, and we're getting support. So we're looking to just expand the user base and just market test this thing and see which features get the most traction and which features we should focus on, which platforms we should integrate next. Yeah. So going to market.
That's super exciting. Hence coming to Telos, right, and being here for the community. What's the best way for users, traders, even projects, who maybe want to get involved in things to start getting involved in the project?
Yeah, you can go to our website. You can jump into our Telegram and find me and Ben in there. You can email me at vincent@keyfi.com or ben@keyfi.com. Yeah, Telegram is what we use the most. We're also on Discord as well on our website. Oh, Ben's back.
Wonderful. We got you, Ben. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, I got dropped there. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you made it back. We were just talking about some of the stuff that's up next for you guys. And he was just talking about the growing adoption of the project and stuff like that. On the development side, is there anything else that's sort of next for you there?
Yes. So the things I wanted to tell you about, one is the DEX charts.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been working a long time on basically pulling in all of the DEX chart data from every DEX on every chain. So this is obviously a pretty large scale project, but once that's done, then we'll be able to integrate that into the app. Another one that we're working on releasing our second machine learning feature. So our first machine learning feature was the recommendation engine, which I actually forgot to show you guys on the demo there. But basically, what it does is it analyzes your wallet and then also analyzes hundreds of thousands of other wallets. And gives you some ideas of what tokens you might be interested in based on your existing holdings, and that feature will get evolved further over time. But then the next one is a market analysis. So basically, we're using OpenAI's GPT-3 API to generate text derived from market analysis coming from multiple different points. And then it's providing a summary on, I think, 100 or 200 different tokens, like of the top 100 or top 200 tokens, just giving a daily summary on that. So that's another feature that's coming. And then, we've got a bunch more sort of UI updates that are coming in for the dashboard, be able to resize widgets, a few more sort of like small details. And then, lots more integrations. So by the end of the year, we're looking to increase our number of integrations, not just monitored ones, but ones that you can actually interact with, to over 500 still. So
Wow.
there's obviously a scaling process for that. But those are the next things that are coming. So DEX charts, market analysis powered by AI, and lots more integrations, so DeFi
So
integrations,
exciting.
including Telos. Yeah.
We love it. That's so exciting. It sounds like such an exciting, really time for your project. You've done so much so far, but there's still all this stuff coming, and it feels like the floodgates are going to open for you guys. So we're really happy to have you here on the Telos ecosystem and growing here, so that we can, come along for the ride and watch you guys develop and go from here, and have also these tools in the ecosystem. I think it's something that we've been lacking. So it means a lot that you guys have, brought this project to Telos and are continuing to grow things in that way for us. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. We've dropped those links in the chat again, so make sure you head over to their Twitter, their website, their Telegram there, and get connected. I think that's all we have time for. We have a couple of more minutes. Is there anything else that we didn't cover, Ben or Vinny, that we should touch on before we wrap?
No, all good.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much for coming out, guys. It's really great to have you here joining us and joining the ecosystem. I'm sure we'll see you around, and the community, you can always head over to your Telegram if they have more questions. And we got that Discord after party happening with Thomas from the community team as well, so guys can come there and keep the conversation going. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you coming out.
Awesome. Take care.
Thanks, Leah.
Thanks,
guys.
See you.
See ya.
Well, there you have it. 2 really cool projects coming and building on the Telos ecosystem. We're going through such a growth period right now, and it's just wild to see that, right? After it just speaks to Telos and what it is, right? Which is this community of builders that are constantly innovating the space around us. Projects are just piling on right now. It's really great to have events like this where we can bring in 2 at once, really, just because there's so much happening. So we really appreciate the community and all of you guys coming out to join us for this event and taking the time to get to know these projects. Go check them out, right? Get involved, join their communities, ask questions, and take action in the apps as well. It's really powerful that we have these tools. Let's get the word out there and start using them. So thanks for joining us again. Make sure you subscribe down below so that you can be notified about the next time we go live in our next event. And we look forward to seeing you all around. Be sure to head over to telos.net and follow all our socials there and stay connected to everything happening in the ecosystem, because things are just going crazy right now, and you don't want to miss anything. All right. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again on our next Telos Tuesday. Have a great week, guys. Bye.